Welcome again to Strawberry Field for the special unveiling of a peace statue in connection with Ukraine and the new bandstand as well. It's a beautiful sunny day here on the 2nd of May 2023, just walking through the grounds of the new Strawberry Field. Lovely day for it. This is where you can look and see where the original mansion stood, so where the new centre is. If you crouch down slightly, that was the original mansion that John could see from the back of his garden at Aunt Mimi's house. These are the original gates of Strawberry Field, which are now kept inside the grounds, so well worth coming to see. And then just behind it are the trees in the grounds where John and his friends used to play. So let me take you down for this very special ceremony that's about to start.
Now, we have one gentleman and his wife, Mike and Minnie Pavaz, who I think have traveled the furthest to be here today. They've come from Las Vegas, and Mike is a representative from the Global Peace Initiative who commissioned this monument. And just now, I am going to invite Mike to come and share a little bit about the Global Peace Initiative as well as the monument. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Major. The Global Peace Initiative is a California-based artist coalition that was created in 2003. The mission of GPI is to circle the globe with monuments to peace. These monuments are to be created by young artists, as it is the young who suffer most during war. The first monument was created by a 20-year-old artist named Alexandra Nikita, and it was unveiled in Singapore in 2005. The monument is aptly named Let There Be Peace. The second monument was created by a 17-year-old artist by the name of Lauren Boyers. It was actually unveiled right here in Liverpool in 2010. The monument was created to honor John Lennon. It is named aptly Peace and Harmony. The third monument, which we are unveiling here today, was created by a Mexican artist by the name of Osvaldo Garcia Morales. The worldwide search for a young artist with the capability to create a monument such as this took almost a year. Osvaldo is only 16 years old. She comes from a tiny Mexican town with a population of 686. Her town has no art museums or art galleries to help further inspire her artistic curiosity. At 8 years old, rather than playing with her friends, all she wanted to do was draw. She was drawing portraits that were far more sophisticated than what should be expected from an 8-year-old. As she moved on to pastels, word began to spread throughout southern Mexico of an artistic genius. Art supplies were not always available to her. When that was the case, she used boards and flat stones to paint on, and she mixed her own paint using local dyes and chalk. By the time Osvaldo reached age 11, she was painting at the level of a master. Local art experts could not comprehend the fact that she had become a master in 3 artistic disciplines: hyperrealism, surrealism, and abstract. Once she came to the attention of the Global Peace Initiative, we knew that we had found our artist for the Ukrainian Peace Monument. The monument was created to honor the people of Ukraine, who, as you know, have been suffering the horrors of war for approximately 15 months since the invasion by Russia. The monument was intended to be placed in Ukraine, but for obvious reasons, it cannot be placed there at this time. We are extremely grateful to the City of Liverpool and for Strawberry Hill for hosting this unveiling, for safekeeping the monument until it can be moved and rededicated in the Ukraine. We hope and pray that that can happen very soon. In the words of the artist, art's greatest purpose is to serve mankind rather than serve only itself. With this monument, I hope I have created a symbol of peace for Ukraine and mankind everywhere, that peace is the only option. When you see the monument, please pay attention to a couple of things. You can still see, or you can already see, the dove, the book, and the Ukrainian flag as it's being held up high by what I'll call our character. Our character is looking out into the future, looking out into the sky, hoping that peace, as represented by the dove, will soon come over the Ukraine as well as the rest of the world. You'll also see that our character is standing on a globe of the earth. And so he's representing mankind, or is he representing an angel, or is he representing God himself? We'll let you decide that. With all of that said, why don't we go ahead and unveil the monument?
Thank you, Mike. We are indeed very privileged to be the custodians. The temporary parade will be a temporary custodial custody of this amazing monument. We will look after it before it can begin on its final leg of the journey to Ukraine. So yes, it's time to take a look. I've been praying the veiling won't come off unplanned. Okay, so I'm going to invite the Lord Mayor to come and help me unveil it. And I'd also like to request, and if you stay on the side, Councillor, I'd also like to request that the fabulous team, our team and our consultants, as well as the wonderful businessman in Nelson, Manchester, I don't know where it is, but I do know David has been working day and night together with the rest of the team to get the statue ready for today. I'd like them to stand alongside, and I'd also like to invite our Ukrainian friends to come and join me here. And we had a few Ukrainians, refugees, as well as members of AUTV who were due here today. So will you all come and stand alongside me as the councillor unveils the monument.
It generally is always a pleasure to visit Strawberry Fields, as I've done on many occasions, but today is extra special, is it not? This city, my city and yours, has got the pleasure to host the Eurovision Song Contest on behalf of a country at war at the moment, which is Ukraine. All we can say to you before going any further is that we will do you proud. If Liverpool does nothing else, it knows how to party. I wasn't sure whether, I'd be finished, whether to should get up and speak or get up and dance. So, very, very well done. The Peace Monument in itself is a beautiful piece of architecture, but it's what it means, I think, that is important. Whilst the Eurovision Song Contest is going on, it's hope, and I'm sure it will be, people will be signposted to not only come and enjoy the music and the response and the love and respect they'll get from the people of Liverpool, but hopefully to be able to come up here and look at this beautiful monument. And again, as well as hosting for Ukraine, we are the guardians. We will guard this monument until war ends and peace comes to Ukraine. And then at that point, we will have the pleasure, the greatest of pleasure, in handing this monument over to Ukraine so they can remember as a monument that peace is with them, but what they went through beforehand. It is something, every time a war happens, we always say, never let this happen again. And it always does. I'm hoping that one day, along with the word to John Lennon, it will cease and we can have peace. But until that time, we will guard this monument. We will welcome our friends from Ukraine. We will treat them as our guests, as we always do in this city, and we're quite proud of it, and we do it so very well. The only thing I would ask, I believe, and I'll admit I'm getting a little bit of a dig in for this. The Peace Monument, when it goes back to Ukraine, I think, as per usual, they always seem to go to the capital cities. Well, as Liverpoolers, we always think it's the capital city of England anyway. Well, we know it is. I think it'd be a nice idea that if the Peace Monument went anywhere, it went to Odessa, which is our twin city in Ukraine. So I suppose I'm well out of line saying this, but it's the only chance I get, so I'm making sure I get it in. So thank you to Kathy for today, as usual, as you always do at Strawberry Fields. They put on a great party. I thank you for turning up and for showing our Ukraine friends, and of course our friends from Las Vegas, for a great monument, and for the artist, that young, I mean, if this is the talent of young people, then we haven't got much to worry about in our future years, have we? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter. So, give peace a chance. How do we do it in a war torn apart by conflict in Ukraine and lots of other countries? The artist, Osbald's, on the monument, you will see as you come a bit closer, suggests 4 things, 4 steps, 4 fundamentals for peace. First, serve, share, forgive, and then dialogue. I think, I don't know if I'm putting words in her mouth, but I think that is her path of peace. Those 4 key elements. And those are sentiments which we hear at Strawberry Field and around the Salvation Army world as we follow in the footsteps of Jesus. We try and do all of those things as we remember that He not only called us to love our enemies and pray for those who persecute us, but also when the peace talks fail, when the dialogue stops, even then we are called to do what without God's grace is impossible to do. We are called to continue to serve the other, to share love with the other, to forgive the other. And right now I'd like Major Dr. David Taylor, who leads the work of the Salvation Army across the Northwest, to come together with Reverend Dr. Terence, who leads the local Ukrainian community here, to come and share some ancient words of Scripture that reminds us of the way in which we can know inner peace in a world of conflict, as we trust in God and we allow Him to make us to find that peace within ourselves. And so, Major David, I almost said David, David is going to read from Psalm 37, from the Good News Translation, 1 through to 11, and he's going to do that in English. And then Father Taras will repeat the same verses in Ukrainian. Thank you.
It's helpful to know that many of the Psalms were written in the context of oppression, hostility, and suffering. And they offer words of hope, confidence, and faith in the God who is with us. Psalm 37. Don't be worried on account of the wicked. Don't be jealous of those who do wrong. They will soon disappear like grass that dries up. They will die like plants that wither. Trust in the Lord and do good. Live in the land and be safe. Seek your happiness in the Lord, and He will give you your heart's desire. Give yourself to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will help you. He will make your righteousness shine like the noonday sun. Be patient and wait for the Lord to act. Don't be worried about those who prosper or those who succeed in their evil plans. Don't give in to worry or anger. It only leads to trouble. Those who trust in the Lord will possess the land, but the wicked will be driven out. Soon the wicked will disappear. You may look for them, but you won't find them. But the humble will possess the land and enjoy prosperity and peace.
Не розпалюйся гнівом своїм на злочинців. Не май заздрості до беззаконних, бо вони, як та трава, будуть скоро покошені, і мов та зелена билина пов'януть. Надійся на Господа і добро чини, землю замешкуй та правди дотримуй. Нехай Господь буде розкіш твоя, і Він сповнить тобі твого серця бажання. На Господа здай свою дорогу, і на нього надію клади, і Він зробить, і Він випровадить, немов світло, твою справедливість, а правду, немов південь. Жди Господа мовчки і на нього надійся. Не розпалюйся гнівом на того, хто щасливою чинить свою дорогу, на людину, що виконує задуми свої. Постримайся від гніву і покинь посередці. Не розпалюй лютістю, щоб чинити лиш зло. Бо витяті будуть злочинці, а ті, хто вповає на Господа, землю успадкують. А ще трохи і не буде безбожного, і будеш дивитись на місце його, і не буде його. А покірні спадкують землю і розкошуватимуть миром великим.
Yes, we have a few words from the chair of the Association of Ukrainians in Great Britain, Petra.
Lovely sound. Now in Liverpool as well. It's been an honour and a privilege to be invited here today. And not only on behalf of the Ukrainians in the United Kingdom, but as a board member of the Ukrainian World Congress, I can speak on behalf of the Ukrainians around the world to say a massive thank you to Liverpool, a massive thank you to the people who commissioned and paid for this fantastic, and to the young artist who came up with this image of peace. Ukraine will be victorious, we have no doubt. One day, we say refugees, and it's not a word I really do like, so I say our Ukrainian guests, which are with us at the moment, will be able to go back home to their own country of Ukraine. This statue just encompasses everything about what we all believe in, democracy and peace. This is not just Ukraine's war, this is a war for everyone that believes in freedom and democracy. And Ukraine and the world will be victorious because good will always conquer evil. Thank you to Liverpool for being the custodians, specifically Kathy and her team here at Strawberry Fields. Thank you to Liverpool for converting itself into Ukraine for the Eurovision Song Contest, because you have truly stepped up to the mark. And being from Manchester, I have to take my hat off to you. And Andy Bergen can't have got a one-upmanship on this one, Steve. You've done a tremendous job. I know I've got many events to attend before the Eurovision final next week, which I won't be at because I'll be in my own home community of Ashton-under-Lyne, and all our Ukrainian communities up and down the country will be watching this on the big screen. But thank you very much for being the host. Thank you very much for being Ukrainian, and to be fair, for everything this country has done for Ukrainians since the invasion by Russia. Thank you will never be enough. We will always be indebted. Glory to Ukraine, glory to its heroes. Slava Ukraini!